this way.
Sure.
Oh, good morning. It is Wednesday, the 21st of December, and I am interviewing Nathan Treat. That's spelled T-R-E-A-T, Nathan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and he is the club manager for Elite Health and Fitness in Stoughton, Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
And Nathan, tell me a little bit about how you started here and how you got to be the club manager.
Sure. I actually started here part-time. I was in a desperation for needing to work somewhere, and luckily Elite saw that I had a vision that was similar to their values here, and they were willing to take me on. And I started as what we call a member service rep, which is basically the starting position that we have here at the facility. Really just interacting with members and making sure that they're taken care of and all set. And over time, they saw that I had a passion for really helping people on a greater level and wanting to be more a part of the company. And so over time, over the last 4 years, I've been promoted a few different times to member service manager, to being the assistant general manager, and now being the club manager myself.
Okay, so what is your charge here? What do you oversee as a
I oversee all of the members' accounts, all billing in and out of the facility. I oversee all the attrition and retention of all the members. I oversee all billing for all of our accounts that regard to third parties and different things that we pay for, all the maintenance and the club operations, and then all the other departments that we have here.
That's really interesting. That's quite a charge too. Now, is PT a separate division?
Yes, while we do work alongside of physical therapy, it is its own separate company that we work alongside of.
Okay, so essentially, how many employees are you in charge of?
Anywhere between 30 to, probably say around 30, yeah.
Is it just this facility here, or
Yes.
is it, right?
Yes.
Foxborough is another location,
Yeah,
right?
it's its own separate thing.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, what I find intriguing about all of this is that 4 years ago, you basically started as a member service rep, a part-time member service rep, and worked your way up. And you said they have passion and they have values which are similar to yours. What are some of those values?
Well, both of our owners, Pete and Keith, Stoughton born and raised, local guys, they're hard workers. That was the first thing I realized when I started working here. They're owners of a relatively large company. We have over 50 employees total. And, you know, obviously our business is growing and we're evolving, we're doing well, but it doesn't mean that they're slowing down. As owners, they put in harder work than anyone I've ever seen. And that was something that I really took to a liking right from the start. Noticing that the people in charge of me weren't just sipping culottes in the back and, you know, milking off of the company doing well. They were actually willing to put in the effort to make sure that the company was taken care of. And so from the start, I understood that not only did the company have value to them, but the employees had value to them. So I felt that I was important. I felt that I had a purpose and a really a will to want to work because of that. And also their communication with the other employees and with the members was one conveyed out of generosity and kindness. And that was something that I was huge on. Anything, if we were ever in the wrong, no questions asked, they'd always take care of it and make it right. If we're not a company that, you know, sleazes people, we're not sleazy, we're not trying to get money out of people in weird ways, you know. We're an honest, upfront company that's their values that they've always had.
So those are their core values. So
Yes.
from what I'm saying is ethics and integrity.
Yes, 100%.
And I think some of the more important things that you do here is that, and what I've seen, this is just an observation, you're a strong believer in servant leadership. How did you train to be a leader? Like, who here might have helped you?
You know, I've gotten to work under quite a few different people here at the facility. One of the main people that I've worked with over the years would probably be Jillian. She was our most recent general manager here before I stepped in to fill that role. Jillian is an awesome leader. She's really taught me a lot of the various ways of management, because before Elite Health and Fitness I had no management training or management skills other than just basic things that I've picked up in other work environments. But she's really the one that instilled the way to lead by example, and like you said, a servant leadership. And she really taught me that if something's broken, you can fix it. I'm not above anyone here. While I am the one that maybe is the last straw to make a decision, I don't see myself as above anyone. If something's dirty, I'm gonna clean it, and that's really how Jillian always operated. She's not gonna say, oh, there's a spilled water over here, like
Right.
let's call the cleaners and we'll let them do it because I'm the manager. No, if something's dirty, I'm gonna clean it, and I like that approach on things.
So that was essentially what we would refer to as successor leadership, which integrated with your core values. But did you ever aspire you be in this position 4 years ago?
No, I did see myself. So when I first started looking for new employment, I was looking for anything. I was actually in the construction business before working here at Elite.
Okay.
And I had 2 interviews that day, one here and one for another construction company. And I knew the construction. I loved working with my hands, but for some reason, Jillian interviewed me actually, and I took a liking to the way that she conducted the interview, and I thought, this is a good opportunity to try something. So I certainly didn't see myself being where I am right now, that's for sure.
But as time went on, though, you saw yourself growing through the organization, and you saw yourself taking on more responsibility.
Yeah, over time I did see that.
So do you think maybe Jillian might have been grooming you in case she was stepping down or doing something else for this position? Did you ever get that feeling? Or
I didn't actually. So, but in a good way. Over the years, so for instance, after I was working here for about 4 months, they created a position for me to become a sales representative, I guess you could call it.
Okay.
So we had a whole structure and order of business that we had a model for years.
right.
And as they determined that I would be good for this, they created a way for me to join a sales lead and sales position. And through that, unfortunately, but I ended up kind of selling out all the other sales positions
Right.
and becoming the lead for the sales because I surpassed them, and eventually everyone else kind of fell to the side. But just through Jillian training me, doors ended up opening up. It's not even that we were trying to leeway into something different. It just doors opened as I continued to grow with the company. And then, different circumstances where
Right.
people ended up stepping down, even before Jillian becoming the general manager, did just provide a path for me to keep moving up.
So do you think that and this is kind of a tough question to answer, but I see relevance in it. Do you think that you might have been able to feel comfortable after Jillian had stepped down, only because you weren't afraid to make a mistake? That's kind of a loaded question, I realize that, but a lot of people, a lot of leaders are afraid to take certain type of risks. I'm not saying stupid stuff, but risks that are logical, because they're afraid if they make a mistake, someone is just going to slam down their throat.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of wondering how you felt on that emotionally with this particular type of organization.
Well, going back to just Peter and Keith, the owners, and how they conduct their business here, I felt a lot of confidence stepping into the position because what they've always instilled in their employees is that as long as you're following the core values of the company, we're going to stand behind your decisions and your actions, as long as you're acting upon Elite's best interest, which gave a lot of empowerment towards our employees and also everyone beneath me and beneath Jillian at the time. It opened a lot of doors for us to be able to not feel nervous or worried about what we were doing, but to
Right.
feel confident in that if we're moving forward as the company's goals
As the
and
company's
values,
go right values.
there was no slap on the wrist. It was more like a learning as we're going, and as long as we're all moving in the same direction, we know we're going to get the goal done and the accomplishments there.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations
Thank you.
on your new position.
Thank you.
And as you probably are aware, I have interviewed Jillian a couple of times for my leadership classes,
Yes.
and she is a really awesome person.
She is.
And she made it very clear to me how important successorship was and servant leadership was. And obviously, that has transitioned to many employees here.
Definitely.
And this is why probably it is so successful. And through her efforts and your continued efforts, that trend will continue. So thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
Appreciate
Of course.
it.
Nice to talk
And
with you.
nice talking with you. And you have an awesome day and great holidays.
Thank you. You too as well.
Thank you, Nathan.